Good day everyone! For today's lessons discussed, we are going to talk about the lesson 7 of our subject, which is all about media and globalization. And so let's begin. These lessons, we will understand the relationship between media and globalization, particularly on how affects the process of globalization. Furthermore, we will deeper to understand on the effects of media in the Orient and the Western world, as well as to see how media create a global village in the process of the imperialism. At the end of these lessons discussed, everyone is expected to analyze how various media drive different forms of global integration and compare the social impacts of different media on the process of globalizations and explain the dynamic between local and global culture production and define responsible media consumption.
Good day everyone, I'm Mariel Dalisay and my topic includes media and globalization. Globalization entails the spread of various cultures and ideas. In modern era where the television program, social media, books, movies, even magazine reach larger audience. Example, the film is made in Hollywood. It is shown only in the United States but also other cities across the globe where attract larger audience and goes to suit today's generation. Another example is the song Gangnam Style by the South Korean rapper named Psy. His song may as well convey different meanings but its listeners included millions who have been or may never go to Gangnam. Next, globalization relies on media as a main conduit for the spread of global cultures and ideas. There is an intimate relationship between globalization and social media which must be unraveled to further understand the contemporary world. Media play a significant role in globalization as seen in today's generation. It facilitates in cultural exchange and the multiple flows of information and between different countries to international news broadcasts, television programming, and the other media sources.
What is media and its function? Media and its functions. Lul define media as means of conveying anything such as a route of communications of person's voice, and technically a medium when critics use terms media plural of medium, and they are referring to the technologies of mass communication and magazine and newspaper or example of media. The radio and television are both example of broadcast media. And finally, digital media includes the internet as well as mobile communications, email, internet sites such as social media and internet-based video and audio are example of internet media. Well, defining the term of media is relatively simple and determine what media do and how they affect society is more challenging. Marshall McLuhan, a medium theorist, was said that the medium is the message, but he did not mean that message or meaningless and had no effect on people. Rather, his statement was intended to bring attention to the fact that media as a type of technology has the ability to transform society. So the next slide is as a result, the function of media is just like television. It's more than just a message carrier. It is also influence the viewers of social conduct and reorients the family behavior. So saan naabot ang television? It lets people take away from dining room where they done and the story to one another day. Siguro for example, nang wala pang television, We are our family is having sa breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we make bonds like you're sharing some of our and story life, and let's chika chika while eating on dining. But how they strictly munch on their food while watching TV shows since its introduction in the 1960s, television has also isolated people from other people, preventing them from engaging in activities such as playing video games or reading books. And today's in our generation, smartphones allows using to communicate with several individuals at the same time. In real life, we can communicate to other people from siguro sa taga ibang lugar or sa ibang bansa. Through media, pwede tayong makalearn just like now or gaining knowledge through online class. Pwede tayong magkaroon ng balita gamit ang media through social media. But there are some of fake news na ma-receive natin ang mga natin na makasira bukod sa society. Pwede na tayong kwentuhan through online, and that's how media function our society for today, considering the impact of the internet of interpersonal connection prior the cell phone. There was no way for couples to stay up constant contact or keep up or what the other was up to. This social shift is made possible by technology, which is medium not by the message to various media or simulation like standing and annotating human sense. According to McLuhan, new media makes communication rich but also in impaired user communicative abilities. Considered writing media story was mostly done and oral before between wrote down on parchment. Storyteller needed have retentive memory and to order transform story verbally to one person to the next. After the 4th century BCE, however, paper rules become more prevalent in Egypt, allowing people to record their memories. As a result, storyteller did not have to rely solely to their collection to deliver their stories. Some philosophers at the time claimed that this development harmed people's memories. So cell phones are comfortable in this regard. On the one hand, they broaden people's horizons by allowing them to communicate on more individual at the same time. On the other side, they limit the senses by making users more easily distracted and full multitasking. This is inherently a bad thing, but it is just a shift that comes to cost. That's all. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Phoebe Elaine Peña. I will discuss the global village and cultural imperialism. First is global village. Global village is the idea that people are connected by easy travel, mass media, and electronic communication and have become single community. The internet is a simple illustration of the global village concept. Individuals may easily connect via social media or email to people all over the world since they have access to the internet on their phones, laptops, or PCs. Next is cultural imperialism. Cultural imperialism is anthropology, sociology, and ethics, the imposition by one usually politically or economically dominant community of various aspects of its own culture onto another non-dominant community. The act of imposing the values, customs, and meanings of a strong foreign culture upon one or more native cultures is what is most commonly referred to as cultural imperialism.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Princess Janeline Arencayan, and I'll discuss the critiques of cultural imperialism. Proponents of the idea of cultural imperialism ignore the fact that producers do not just make media messages, audiences also consume them. 1980s, the media scholars began to pay attention to the ways in which audiences understood and interpreted media messages. The fields of audience studies emphasize that media consumers are active participants in the meaning-making process who view media through their own cultural lenses. The term meaning-making process refers to the method by which individuals interpret situations, events, objects, or blunders in the light of prior knowledge and experiences. In 1985, an Indonesian cultural critic Ayan Ang, but let's short introduction for her. May Ayan Ang is a professor of cultural studies at the University of Western Sydney, or UWS, in Australia. She was the institute's founding director and was born in 1954. She also holds the title of Fellow of the Australian Academy of the Humanities. She is born in Indonesia but raised and educated in the Netherlands. Ang earned her doctorate in Social and Cultural Sciences from the University of Amsterdam in 1990. Her research focuses on media and cultural consumption and media audiences. One of her published books is The Watching Dallas Soap Opera and the Melodramatic Imagination. It has 58 editions published between 1985 and 2015 in 4 languages and held by 872 WorldCat member libraries worldwide. Analyzes viewers' responses to the Dallas television series, attempt to explain why is it so popular around the world, and discuss the show's relationship with melodrama, American ideology, and feminism. She studied the ways of the different viewers in the Netherlands who experience watching an American soap opera called Dallas. Dallas is a TV series from April 2, 1978 to May 3, 1991. CBS broadcast the American soap opera Dallas during prime time. The Ewings, a wealthy and continuous Texas family that owns the independent oil company Ewing Oil and the cattle ranching property of the South Fork, are focusing the television show. Through the letters to the 42 viewers, she presented a detail of analysis of audience viewing analysis experiences, rather than simply receiving American culture in a passive and resigned way, and she comes to a conclusion that viewers put emotional realism, or a lot of emotional energy, into the process and experience pleasure based on the program resonated with them. In 1990, Elihu Katz and Tamar Nibis. Elihu Katz was an American and Israeli sociologist and communication scientist, and Professor Tamar Lirbes, professor and chair of the Department of Media and Journalism at the Hebrew University. They decided to push Ang's analysis further by examining how viewers from distinct cultural communities interpreted Dallas. Agreed that texts are received differently by varied interpretive communities because they derive different meanings and pleasure from these texts. Notes that people from diverse cultural backgrounds had their own ways of understanding the show Dallas. Aside from the difficulty presented by audience studies, the cultural imperialism, thesis has run against renewed regional trends in the context of globalization. For example, the Japanese brands such as the Hello Kitty, the Mario Brothers, and Pokemon are widely recognized worldwide. The same with the K-pop idols like Blackpink, the solo artist slash actress Lee Ji-yoo or IU, the Korean telenovelas The Extraordinary Attorney Woo, and the Korean movies which popular last year, the Squid Game. Of course, the anime slash manga, the One Piece. Nowadays, they are widely successful regionally and globally because these patterns is no longer acceptable to insist the globalization is a unidirectional process of foreign culture overwhelming local ones, thus it leaves room for denims or cultural change.
Good day everyone, my name is Tracian E. Punzalan and I'll be discussing social media and the creation of cyber ghettos. Now, what is social media? Social media are online communications in which individuals shift flexibility between the role of audience and the author. To do this, they use social software that enables anyone without knowledge of HTML coding to create, comment on, and share content and to form communities around shared interests. Social media have both negative and positive effects. First, what are the positive effects of social media? The first positive effects of social media is it develops social awareness. It raises awareness in the youth regarding sensitive issues that are not discussed in many societies. Second, social media is a source of learning and teaching. It serves as a gateway for exchanging information. It has also become a platform for different sources for youth to improve their education. Third, it improves self-confidence. Social media is serving as a source for boosting or building self-confidence in the youth. It makes them feel better and good about themselves. From all the numbers of likes, share, and comments of approval that they have been receiving, it helps them enhances their quality to feel good about themselves. Fourth, social media is an amazing platform to showcase your talent. It's an amazing platform that offers the opportunity for showcasing the talent of individuals conspires. It is an amazing platform to put the best version of yourself out there and to be recognized for the individual identity and the talent we possess. Lastly, social media help us save time. It allowed us to save the maturity of our time and utilize it somewhere productive instead. It enables us to communicate in an effective manner. Education can be received in the comfort of our home through the distance learning or live streaming of classes offered. The posting on social media updates everyone within seconds without the need to glance at the newspaper every morning to get updated about the current happenings of our surrounding. Next, these are the negative effects of social media. First, it's the source of anxiety and depression. Social media uses often resulted in high level of anxiety and stress. The teenagers mostly compare themselves in their friends on social media and perceive inadequacies if others are better at something, which affects your life. Second, cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is one of the main ills of the social media. Because of the anonymity it offers, it increases the risk of violence, sex, abuse, and threats can result in deep emotional scars. It has the long-lasting effects that are carried through the childhood. Third, words are independence thinking. The independence thinking of youth is jeopardized with the use of social media as a result of peer pressure. The drive to fit in has negative effects on person's own idea or thought because of the fear of criticism. Fourth, social media reduces productivity. The young generation is mostly found loafing around the internet instead of spending their time in a productive task. They waste their time on this platform that at the end of the day, they have to buy an assignment for the online services providers. They spend hours on social media stalking, tracking, updating, and reacting to the activities of their friends. It has become a platform for advertising rather than communicating one. Lastly, it is the threat to privacy. The risk of networking on social media among youth is the loss of privacy. Social media creates a digital footprint whichever sites we visit, the comments we make, and the posts we share. This can have some serious repercussion in future at both personal and professional level.
This lesson showed that different media have diverse effect on globalization process. Society can never be completely prepared of communication. Every technological change, after all, creates multiple unintended consequences. That's all. Thank you for listening.